Art of war. What do the greatest warriors do?
No.
Not fight. They don't fight. And is it just that they decided not to fight?
No.
Did Arjuna know how to fight?
Yes.
Did he not want to fight?
Yes.
For the wrong reasons?
Yes.
Was he supposed to fight?
Yes.
Was he then shown that why he was supposed to fight?
Yes.
And then he chose to fight appropriately. But when he fought, was he attached to them?
No.
No, he was non-attached. Okay, so love this one. Old story, beginning of the translator's introduction. The physician whose reputation was such that his name became synonymous with medical science in China replied, after being asked, were any of his other members of his family healers? And were they which of them was the most skilled? And the man replied, my eldest brother sees the spirit of sickness and removes it before it takes shape. So his name does not get out of the house. My elder brother cures sickness when it is still extremely minute. So his name does not get out of the neighborhood. As for me, I puncture veins, prescribe potions, and massage skin. So from time to time, my name gets out and is heard among the lords. What's the point?
It's better to be subtle.
Yeah, stop it. So you stop it before it starts. Are you going to then get credit?
Nope.
No.
Do you need to get credit?
No.
No, but you've stopped it. But most of us like to get into the mess of it and then be heroes. Everybody wants to be a hero these days. What's a hero? Definition of hero.
Someone who's known for doing something, usually something good, or seen as good.
Okay, but it has to be extreme. A true hero has to have
Oh.
actually been afraid
Overcome
and over.
fears and obstacles, and been willing to sacrifice himself in some way.
Yes. He or she has to have been willing to give up themselves. They have to not be afraid to die.
It's a selfless bravery.
Yes. That's a hero. There aren't a lot of heroes. In this time and age, right now, we need to all live that way. As subtle as the eldest brother. We need to do pre-conflict resolution. Most people like and they wait till it's long into it. But if we are able to rest in the heart and discern what's actually going on, then we will see, oh my God, if I go this, I start a fight. If I go here, lo and behold, I can avoid the whole thing. Not avoid in the runaway, but I don't have to fight. So my teacher, my martial arts, Tai Chi teacher, Chong used to say, if I got really good, I'd be 2 to 10 miles from a fight when it started. Does that mean I was running away? No. Just don't need to fight. You have to, at some point, choose not to fight. So the art of war is all about learning to face all the strategies, become an absolute expert, face your own death, And then only as the last resort do you ever then fight. And I've told this story before about the samurai who was starting collecting an army, and this farmer comes to him and says, I wanna join. He said, what skills do you have? What can you do? And he said, I've spent all my days contemplating my own death. I am not afraid to die at all. And the samurai said, then go home. You've learned everything there is to know. There is no need for you to do this. So, I wrote this morning. It's really simple. It is so easy to fight and escalate. It takes an expert to be able to de-escalate. You have to have mastered fighting to be willing to de-escalate. So the tamasic person is always willing to fight. Do they do anything else? No, they just fight. Okay? So then they don't want to be tamasic anymore. But do they always see themselves as victims and they don't really do the fight? It's not their fault, right?
Okay.
What happens when we become rajasic?
Fired up.
You're fired up,
Yeah.
so you're unbelievably fighting. Openly fighting, right? Out there,
Yeah.
correct? So it's really obvious to everybody. You don't any longer look like the poor victim that was passive aggressive. You look like the open fighter, right?
Yeah.
So you don't like being called the open fighter, the bully, the one who starts the fight, the one that's doing all this stuff. So what do you then do? Go back to tamasic and being the victim. Woohoo! That worked. No, it didn't. But that's the two. That scene is the only two choices. That's it. What's the third choice? Sattva. And what happens when we're sattvic?
You can choose another.
Clarity.
You can see different options. And
You see options, clarity. You can maneuver through. You can de-escalate. You can fight if you have to, but in a remember, don't fight angry.
you can lead by example.
You can lead by example at that point.
You're no longer reactive.
No longer reactive. Exactly. There's now choice. Complete choice and clarity in terms of how you're moving forward. So, what did Arjuna have to do in the end? Choose. He still had to choose because now he saw he was sattvic and he saw the whole thing before him. And his cousins were still the ones he was going to fight and have to kill. It was still his family. It was no different a situation than it was probably 15 minutes earlier. And he still had to choose. It was a conscious action. So if we just fight in reaction to fight, is there any possible side that's okay? No. Absolutely not. No, both doing it. And years ago I read, I don't know if I have it here. If I have it. This is time in it. Absurd though it may sound, I think a large number of people in their heart of hearts like war in a perverted way for its excitement, in spite of the terrible pain and suffering which it brings. This is part of the reason why wars continue to be fought on bigger and bigger scales, in spite of all the efforts which are being made for peace. If we do not want wars, who forces us to fight? The governments which declare war are the instruments of the people who want war. We may plead that we are fighting in self-defense, but we have to look at the question not from the point of view of one nation, but humanity as a whole. Offense and defense is merely the polarization of the urge to fight. Now, does that mean that Normandy shouldn't have happened? No. At that point, what had occurred? We had let it go for so long. It was no longer possible not to fight. Did people see what was going early? Yeah. Did people believe it? No. Did they avoid it?
Yes.
A lot of avoidance, a lot of denial, a lot of no. And so it reaches the point where you have then no choice. So when I talk to you about a pattern that you have, that you've seen before, and even I remember, oh yeah, this is the same one you did over here, and over here, and over here, and over here. Do you remember? Yeah, you remember that. I remember when you did that there, right?
Yeah.
And yet, and it's getting bigger and better, and yet we keep on wanting to avoid, not see, deny, to the point that what's going to end up having to happen?
A big
We're going to have to fight.
explosion, yeah.
We're going to have to be in a fight. Okay, so, dichotomy of the day. Exacerbate. Okay, you put it on left upper corner. Another word for exacerbate? Inflame. It's good. Inflame, aggravate, intensify, escalate. Okay, provoke. It comes from the word made harsh. That's its root, made harsh. Provoke, provocation to anger. Woohoo! Opposite, positive, goes on the right side, top. Resolve. De-escalate. Amend. Quiet. Yeah. Amend. What are all these words doing? What happens when you de-escalate? You step it down. You still. You're stepping it down. What happened? Everybody cooking here? Does anybody ever spice it too much? What do you have to do? Strip it down a little bit, right? Dilute it. Step it down. Put in a little yogurt. It'll soothe it. Yeah, you have to, right? You have to de-escalate it. What's the positive of exacerbate?
Excite.
Bottom left.
Excite. Enliven.
Make clear.
Make clear works. See what it, yeah, make clear.
Underscore.
Yeah.
Highlight.
highlight, face.
Intensify.
Well, that's already on the other side. Confront, face. You face something. Engage, that seems a little weak, sorry. But do you know what I'm saying? As a because we're exacerbating. When I exacerbate, so you're exacerbating the situation. No, I'm just engaging. No, I'm confronting. I'm confronting. What?
It's a tricky word, confront, but
It is.
Making a point.
Making a point.
You'd say square up.
it's more like
Yeah.
just face up, square up, confront in the sense of
Get a grip.
Get a grip.
Would there be a component of encouraging in the positive?
No, because it's still encouraging. It's like when you see and imagine somebody who exacerbates a situation. What do they think they're doing? They're helping. They're facing. They're taking.
Showing courage.
They're speaking their piece.
there's an element of stepping up.
Stepping up.
Squaring up.
Squaring up. Stepping up. Does that make sense? So, why do you have a problem with me? I'm just trying to share with you what, my view, what's the problem? But you're inflaming by doing that. So I saw today on Facebook somebody I know who actually posted, she's a younger person, posted 2 videos and wanted people to both see both videos and wasn't sure both people would see them. One was of police brutality and one was of police being shot. 2 sides of the coin here. And not sure how people would respond. She's always willing, it's fascinating. This young person is always willing to put it out there. She wants a dialogue. She really honestly wants a conversation. She feels it's more complicated than people are trying to make it into, it's not that easy. It's not that simple. And I appreciate her completely in that regard. And she's not trying to exacerbate the situation. She's actually trying to de-escalate it by showing, we're all human, and look at this, now look at this. They're both awful. We need to stop both of them. But I also saw somebody who should have been right on there with this, posted some really cutesy choir thing. And I was like, how can you be doing this now? And it's all about being positive, in quotes, avoiding, making nice. I don't want to face. I don't want this to be the reality. And if we think positively, it'll all go away. Okay, and this country and the new age thing, and I am taping, and all this, the secret and all that, I didn't say, it's okay, that everybody has been doing positive. If you just affirm and a positive, if I just affirm each and every one of you, are you going to go out and be successes?
No.
No. Are you going to, if we're positive, we're not going to have any problems? No. If we're positive, the election in November is going to be just great. If we're positive and we just talk positively, all this stuff that's going on, all this agitation globally will just go away. if we don't think about the 300 people at that mall in Baghdad, if we don't think about them, then maybe they didn't die. No, they died. They were murdered. If we don't think about the thousands of people with their children getting into boats that are not seaworthy in order to escape what's absolutely horrific, and what they're facing is horrific. If we don't think about it, if we don't anything, maybe it'll just go away. Maybe if prior years and years ago we didn't have any the media and the visuals that we have now, did that mean that it was safer? Trust me, no. No, it wasn't. So, is media exacerbating or providing an opportunity for us to actually face? You have to look at that, because in some cases it loves to, for its own greedy purposes, it will exacerbate to get people revved up, and they get whatever numbers. I don't know how I still don't understand that. But in other cases, you actually look at the reality of it. And you look at the truth of what's really going on. And what I like to do is I look at the pre-news. By the time it's on these normal sites, it's just in its full blown. I like to look at it just early and know, oh, there's a marker. There's a marker. This is gonna happen. This is a problem. And seeing that nobody wants to have it go away. In this point, everybody exacerbates. So the opposite is de-escalate, and the negative of de-escalate is avoid. And mitigate does have a component, but not here.
It's sort of like palliate too. You superficially soothe something, which also means sort of like taking the high road.
Part of that's numbing.
Numbing, yeah.
It's
It-
yeah, I mean that's
Yeah,
what palliate does.
palliative is the soothing. It's soothing. Don't you worry. Does everybody feel better now?
Does placate work?
Placate.
There has to be. It works, but I would say in a narrow band, because there has to be a conflict between two parties, and which one is placating the other. You know what I mean? And it's pretty narrow, but it could work in a particular situation.
Right.
Coddle?
De-escalate. Coddle.
I mean, coddling, isn't that sort of
Taking the edges off of everybody's.
That's the mitigate and
That's
minimize.
what
Mitigate, minimize.
yeah. I feel like coddling is something you do before things blow up. May lead to it. But I don't know. That's my
Yeah.
opinion of coddling.
So a lot of people think I exacerbate because I shine a light. you want to speak to that?
I agree with that. You shone a light Sunday, and I just totally didn't want to hear alcohol because I was in the right. But the light's coming through that you shone.
Okay, so if we don't want to see things, so we look at it, if you exacerbate, what else are you going to do? Avoid. So in a funny way, you're always looking to inflame and at the same time running away. So you're a hit and run. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I'm looking at hit and run. Runners. Hit and run. Oof. Hit and run, that's what they are. And if you look at, I go back to the 1971, 72 Berkeley riots. And they were a lot of hit and run. That's what those kind of protests were. They were incite, provoke, exacerbate, and then run. Did they want de-escalation and facing and confronting? No. No. Now, I will say about the group of what happened the other night, who have come forward to speak for the police?
The protesters.
The protesters. And what have they been saying?
They were walking with us. They were protecting us. They were in no way a threat.
Right. So their speaking out is a form of both facing and de-escalating. And so if you hit and run, do you face and de-escalate? No. Are you healing and squaring? No. You don't have a chance. There's not a chance in hell. So, do you exacerbate?
Oh, yes.
Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
Do you de-escalate?
No.
Your answer was no way.
Should I say no way in hell?
Yes.
I
Is
don't
that
know.
okay with you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you face and confront?
No.
Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
Do you avoid?
Oh, yeah.
Your answer was at all costs. Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's your Jenny. Do you exacerbate? Your answer was all the time. Is that okay with you? Yes, it is. Do you de-escalate? No way. Is that okay with you? Yes. Do you face and confront? Is that okay with you? Do you avoid? Is that okay with you? There you go. Nancy, do you exacerbate? Is that okay with you? You have to say it.
Yes.
Yes. Do you de-escalate? Is that okay with you?
Yes.
Do you face and confront?
No.
Is that okay with you? Yes. Do you avoid? And is that okay with you? Yes. So is avoidance a solution?
Yes.
Solution?
Yes.
Solution. Okay. Do you exacerbate?
Yes.
Is that okay with you?
Yes.
You had it.
Absolutely.
Yes. Do you de-escalate?
No.
There's a little bit of a yes,
Not really.
but you try to. You try to. Okay. Is it okay that you don't de-escalate?
Yeah.
Yes. Is that because you're righteous? Yes. Do you face and confront?
No.
Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
Are you proud of that?
Yes.
Yes. Have you learned so well not to face and confront?
Yeah.
And you do it expertly? Yes. There it is. Do you avoid?
Yeah.
Is that okay with you?
Yes.
There you go. There you
I'm king exactly, baby.
go. How about that hockey ball?
The balloons, I mean,
Yeah.
about
Oh my
anything,
God, the balloon.
right?
Instigation.
I like
Yeah,
Dr.
it's-
Instigator,
Yeah.
I thought it was fun.
Yeah, you called it fun. Oh my God. Do you know what? All right, tell them, everybody, what you did with the balloons.
Which one do you want to know?
The ones from above with
Alright, that's after college, so that's like even more embarrassing. But okay, yeah, so I lived in Brownstone, and there was
New York. It's what is it? The time's up. You won't get caught. Okay, go ahead.
Is that right? Okay,
Yeah.
good.
What is it?
Statute
Statute of limitations.
Yeah, so second level and at a corner, so we're here at this window, and cars would come along. We'd have to go slowly because it's a block, and this one happened to be making a turn, and there was a couple in a convertible open top. So I timed it. I'm really proud of this timing. Threw it, ducked, but luckily there was someone with me, so I could find out the results. Same thing as the field hockey ball. So threw it. Of course, it landed right in between.
What kind of a balloon was it?
A water balloon.
Water balloon.
Landed right in between, hit the shifter, and then evidently, I didn't see it, but evidently, as they were turning. So, yeah. And again, I threw it, but didn't even just bother to look or stand up.
Yeah, so you just like
Great.
grenades.
Total grenade. Well, it is a grenade, right?
Exacerbate. You just, whoo, instigate.
And it's
Provoke
fun.
anger.
Right.
Provoke anger.
I never have to face it or deal with
Yeah.
it.
Throw. Yeah. And then run away.
Mhm.
Yeah, hit and run. Hit and run. So, do you exacerbate?
Yes.
Is that okay with you?
Yes.
Do you de-escalate?
No.
Is that okay with you?
Yes.
No.
It's not.
It was a no. Do you face and confront?
No.
Your answer was now I do.
Okay.
So do you face and confront?
No, I do. Yes.
Is that okay with you?
No.
No. Do you avoid?
Yes.
Is that okay with you?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Is it still avoiding still a
Yeah,
good
it's still a good tool.
tool? It's a good tactic. See, these are tactics. This is how this is strategy on facing things. So this is, and if we're concerned with the massive amount of extreme fighting that's going on now. No, we do this in every instance. Who does this when they open their refrigerator? Who does this when they get into their car? Who does this at the red light? You start to see Got it? This is, if you start looking at it, your very actions can be the contributors of the extreme that we're seeing in the news. Clear? What's our responsibility?
Love.
To love. And how do we love? Just, oh, love.
That's not working.
It never does. I don't know about you, but I can't stand that. Woo. How do you love?
Clear away everything that's blocking it.
That's right. Because what's your actual nature?
Love.
Love. And so what do you have to take out, Jenny? What did we talk about on Thursday? What do you have to take out to the street every week? The trash. You have to take out the garbage. You got to get rid of the garbage. If we get rid of the garbage, what happens? It's clean, and
There's lots of.
our nature.
Nothing in the way.
There's nothing in the way of our real nature. So if we are avoiding taking out the trash, do we ever get to love? No. If we see the person who is shining a light on the trash as the person who is exacerbating
Then we'll avoid that person at all costs.
at all costs, and then
And we won't confront anything.
that's right. And so
Or
then
de-escalate.
And so, if you want to actually love, which I've been telling it, and I gotta say it, you gotta do it. I am demanding it. At this point in the game, I am demanding it. I can't tell you how dire it is. We cannot be contributors. You gotta be willing to sacrifice your garbage.
There's so much, like for me, it's like you saying, like I hear you saying, like everything that I'm about to do, it's like, that's not good. You know, and like, what's my other choice? And so, but I see how much I want to be in that shit, you know, of that, like that's my go-to instead of, like so I have to, I think about what you're saying, and then it's like, okay, I can make a choice here, but it's a lot of work to like stop myself.
Right. So if you bring yourself back, you disentangle enough and do that work, you are what? De-escalating. Which then you're facing and de-escalating. But otherwise, if you just are blindly going, you're avoiding and exacerbating the whole everything, everywhere.
This was so simple, but like I was working with like the group project, and I wasn't getting what I had asked for, which I had asked for before. So like I was getting angry, and then I thought, I'm just gonna write what I want, and this is what I want, and if that I don't have those images or whatever, then this is what I'm gonna do, and you won't be involved in it, and that was that. And like instead of like just being clear what I need, and I was like, okay, instead of waiting, thinking everyone's reading my mind, and getting more pissed off.
Right, and so you're just building a problem.
Right. And so it was like I wrote, and it was like, okay, this is it, and these are the, if you want to.
So you faced and confronted.
Which I don't know, but it was like so easy to just write the note.
That's right.
Right, like it's like I don't want to be pissed off every day. I'm gonna write the note, and then.
Right, so you de-escalated for yourself. Yeah, just. You took care of yourself, and therefore took care of everything. And that's the whole point. When we exacerbate and avoid, we're not taking care of ourselves.
I think, for me anyway, it's important to think about being an exacerbator is not just externally exacerbating. People may not know when I'm exacerbating.
Absolutely.
I'm exacerbating.
Well, she wasn't saying
Yeah.
anything. She was totally exacerbating in her head.
Yeah.
And it was vibrating. So then it vibrates everywhere. It goes, and then it spreads.
Yeah.
And then she goes to the store, and the person at the store picks up on her vibration, and then that triggers for them, and then we've got, and we just keep doing that. Absolutely. You don't have to ever say anything. You don't open your mouth, and you're a horrible exacerbator. And you think you're not doing anything. You have the quietest tantrums. You never open your mouth. And this entire room vibrates with your hate when you are having a quiet tantrum. And that's absolutely true. Exacerbation has nothing to do with sitting there taking a, something and throwing. I mean, he just liked to.
That's just, yeah. I mean, I do it by neglect also.
Yeah, you do
You
it
do
by
it all kinds of
avoiding.
ways.
Yeah, that was only one.
I mean, that
Yeah.
was just my one on this side of this spectrum, right? I
Right,
mean,
right.
Just not knowing, pretending not to know finances, my own
Right.
finances will then, of course, create a vibration that I love to have, which then potentially creates a problem that involves lots of people.
Right, and that vagueness of not knowing and it's all going to work out. It's all going to work out. It's not. How many people have done the wonderful tool of it's all going to work out and found it didn't?
It's like that bottom right feels like you're not doing anything, but you're always doing something.
Yeah, you're actively avoiding. There is a resistance. Yeah.
You know, the last refuge of that is the misapplication of whatever God does, He does forgive it.
Yeah.
By avoiding, you're allowing the jungle to just keep growing.
Right.
It's thicker.
Right.
And we're doing this a lot more with politics and all sorts of. I mean, Britain is the best example right now of it will all work out. Well, each of this hope is not exactly gonna sort you out.
Right. And things are happening that are fascinating that nobody knew were going to happen. Nobody knew this was going to be a consequence. You think you know the consequences, and if I don't do anything, there won't be any consequences, and it'll be no, there are amazing consequences. Who knew?
I wanted to say I usually don't open my mouth, and everything I avoid, I don't face at all, and my life is not okay. Things right now are not okay for me at all, and I haven't been listening, and I completely project, and yeah, it's not okay.
So do you exacerbate by projecting?
Oh, completely. The hit and run. Oh my gosh, I completely hit and run everything. Like you said, the sitting at the driving behind a car, and just having another car in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Speed limit's 30, they're going 32, 35, and I exacerbate.
Mm-hmm. Now, Ian will remember we were hit by a hit and run accident. Amazing. That car, we were at a red light. We had everything in the car. We were moving out of Wilton, Connecticut. Literally leaving town. Everything was in the car that you don't put in the moving bin. We're in the car. We're at the red light. We're going to take a left to go to see Miller School and St. Matthew's the last time. One last time, and then turn around and go out. And car comes whizzing and hits us head on, but enough to hurt us magnificently, and then keep going. So now somebody else followed that car, got the license plate. We actually left the car because I went in an ambulance. We left the car with all those things in the middle of that, right there at the intersection.
It's not a good day.
It's not a good day. And then that car turned out to be what kind of a car? Stolen. It was a stolen car. And then when they found the driver of the car, where was he when they found him? He was already in jail for something else. He was busy.
I mean, when you steal a car, you think you do as much as you can to avoid detection. So, speeding and then hitting another car is probably, not the best way to go about avoiding detection.
But he was totally doing hit and run. Hit and run.
In hit and run, there's a sort of a blindness there.
Absolutely, it's blind. Yes.
Whoever was speaking before, it was interesting sitting here because I can't see anybody. Like a blind person, I just listened to the tone of the voice. Someone was talking about, I actually do hit and run, and the voice was up here, and you're not seeing anything at that vibration.
Right. That's exactly right. It was Allie. And yes, that's exactly right. That when you're doing a hit and run, I mean, and let's get real, that car, if he had been really not blind, he wouldn't have hit us head on. Who does that?
Yeah.
People on cocaine.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. He's somebody on cocaine. Yeah, would do that. Yeah.
Is it possible for you to just take us to imitate that vibration and then take us down to what face and confront sounds like, what that feels like?
I'm looking at everything. Hit and run. I do hit and run. I do it all. What is it? Where am I speaking from? Head. And, so can I lie?
Yeah.
Can I say anything?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm getting taller. Right? This is where you do. This is speaking. I actually face everything. Who spoke like that? Mickey Mouse. Cartoons. Right? You have to speak. It has to come from down, come up through here and out. Otherwise, I can't say anything. No one's going to believe me. I don't believe me. Yeah.
Just to be clear, in case anybody here might think otherwise, you can have a really deep voice and be talking from here.
Yes.
And unfortunately.
And you can have a really sincere, very, very sincere. I'm so sincere about it, and I'm lying to all of you. Emphatic. I mean it. No, I don't. Emphatic, sincere, earnest. All of those can be done from here. And so if you looked at it on paper, you might think, wow, really, really good. Because you don't have what they're really saying. But if you listen to, I mean it.
Yeah, the other thing, is that people do believe that.
Yes. Unfortunately, they do.
And we've become tone deaf at a deeper level, not literally tone deaf, but unable to discern if people are speaking completely from their heads or actually from a place of authenticity.
Because we then would be avoiding. We want to avoid, and we don't want to exacerbate.
So we fall for the tone.
We fall for it, and we believe everybody. It's fascinating. People don't have any faith, but they believe everything.
Rohini, I wanted to make a comment about Mickey Mouse.
Yes.
It's interesting that you said Mickey Mouse. Walt Disney, his theme parks are the happiest place on earth. And Walt Disney, if he wasn't a Nazi, he was a Nazi sympathizer.
Right. He was. He was. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And it was, so much of it was about avoiding. And I know people who have no money, and they're going to Disney World for weeks at a time. Gotta go there with my kids and we gotta have a vacation. Really? You do? And it was so much fun? Really? It was? Yeah, absolutely.
I guarantee you yesterday there was a massive spike online of postings of cat and dog videos. I'm sure of it. Because the amount of people that were trying to essentially drown out reality with essentially a fluffy feeling, where everybody's essentially trying to make their life into a cartoon, where nothing bad ever really happens, because at the end of the day you just start over.
Okay, so, which is, there were a lot of, yes. And there's somebody I know who's known for many, many years who is who does animal rights, and usually posts the most horrific animal rights things. Yesterday did Fluffy. So how do we face and confront?
You have to start by admitting what's in front of you.
And what's inside you.
And what's inside of you, which isn't what's in front of you.
I think a lot of the starting to confront is the fear that you have to confront someone. That, what's going to happen, and how do I, especially, I don't feel like I'm a good fighter. But when I thought about, just how to write, just to be clear and not put any kind of, just the information and not put any personal, thing. This is what these are the sort of the rules, and there's not a personal attachment, like you didn't do this, and blah, 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 it was just clear about the information, and then.
Okay, so if we go back to the farmer, that with the samurai, what wasn't he afraid of? Death. He wasn't afraid to die. So was Debbie afraid to die before?
I guess so.
And then when she spoke up and saw how to proceed.
And I saw, I knew I didn't want to keep doing it. I didn't want to keep having that.
That, in fact, is death.
Yeah, she did die a little bit.
Yeah, that's death. And so, not being afraid anymore, not caring, not in the sense of apathetic, but being non-attached, you then clearly see how to proceed. It opens up. Why does it then open up?
Because you have choice.
Yeah, you now have choice, but why do you have choice?
You're willing to
You've let go of the what, Jenny? The trash. You got let go of the garbage. And what's the garbage? Yourselves. So it wasn't personal anymore. So you let go of who?
Me.
Yeah, you let go of Debbie. So then when it was just, then it becomes clear. And it's actually no big deal.
I don't feel like once I did it, it was like, oh, that was, and everyone responded. It was like, oh, okay, I'll do that. And I get it. Sorry you had to, because I didn't want to be like the mother, like bugging people.
Yeah.
And they were.
So then you take it, and that's what the whole thing of being in an ashram was about, that we could learn how to let go of the trash, and in simple situations, and then they got bigger. The situations got bigger and bigger and bigger as we were able to let go. So it's an opportunity to let go. But if I don't want to ever take out the trash, I get to sit in my same cesspool doing the same problem forever. So what are we supposed to do? We're supposed to sacrifice our ignorance. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to let go of our ignorance. Give up our ignorance. And be able to then let the truth, it's not personal then, right? Not personal anymore. And we then come forth. It's not personal. We're then just naturally shining a light. We're back to sattvic then. Eventually we go beyond sattva, but for the time being, sattva is great. And we are no longer in a fight situation with fight. We're off the grid. We have to get off the grid. And that's the only way we're going to love. That's the only way to love. And you can do behavior modification, you can do all the cutesy things, you can do, that's not it. That's still a participant, because all that is avoidant. So you're a participant in this dichotomy at that point. Our responsibility, and we're being called, as in every human being is being called to make a choice. And as we said at the beginning, still have to make that choice. Our responsibility is to make that choice, to let go of and sacrifice, and therefore be a hero in a particular way. It's the warrior, the sadhaka, not afraid to die. Who's going to die? Our personal, the thing that doesn't even exist. And then the true self shines through. And that's how we love. And that's how we get to love. And there's a big difference between wrestling, and I don't have a problem with wrestling, and questioning. I don't have a problem with questioning. But fighting and struggling. Can't you see I'm crying? Those are all rajasic and tamasic. They're not participating to the greater good. It's still all about me at that point. So, anybody want to do this one last time? Okay, do you exacerbate?
Yes.
Is that okay with you?
Yes. No.
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 Do you de-escalate?
No. Yes.
Totally de-escalator. Is that okay with you?
Yes.
Do you square up, face, confront?
No.
No way. Is that okay with you? Yes.
Yes.
Do you avoid?
Yes.
Is that okay with you?
Yes.
Yes. Your paralyzing
Mm-hmm.
is
Yeah.
your avoidance. Okay?
Frozen, numbing.
We're not done yet. We're going to get to you. Do you exacerbate?
Yes.
Is that okay with you?
Yes.
Do you de-escalate?
Yes.
Is that okay with you?
Yes. No.
No. Do you face and confront?
No.
Is that okay with you?
Yes.
Do you avoid?
Yes.
Is that okay with you?
Yes.
Yes. Do you de-escalate?
Yes. No.
No. Do you exacerbate?
Yes. No. Oh my goodness.
Here we go. Do you exacerbate?
Yes. No.
No. Is that okay with you?
No.
No. Do you de-escalate?
Yes. No.
No. Is that okay with you?
Yes.
Yes. Do you face and confront?
No. Yes.
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 Is that okay with you?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. Do you avoid?
Yes.
Is that okay with you?
Yes.
That's your, yeah, avoid is your, like,
That's my solution.
your solution.
Anger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, your anchor. Do you exacerbate?
Yes. No.
No. Is that okay with you?
Yes.
Do you de-escalate?
Yes.
Is that okay with you?
Yes.
Do you face and confront?
Yes. No.
No. Is that okay with you?
Yes.
Do you avoid?
Yes.
Is that okay with you?
Yes.
Do you exacerbate?
Yes. No.
Is that okay with you?
Yes.
Do you de-escalate?
Yes.
Is that okay with you?
Yes.
Do you face and confront?
Yes.
Is that okay with you?
Yes.
Do you avoid?
Yes.
Is that okay with you?
Yes. No.
No. See? That's the one that had to
Yeah.
move.
Yeah.
Okay, do you exacerbate?
Yes. No.
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 Is that okay with you?
Yes. No.
No. Do you de-escalate?
Yes. No.
No. Is that okay with you?
Yes. No.
No. Do you face and confront?
No.
No. Is that okay with you?
Yes. No.
No. Do you avoid?
No.
Is that okay with you?
Yes. No.
No. Okay. 8 no's. Do you exacerbate?
Yes.
Is that okay with you?
Yes.
Do you de-escalate?
Yeah.
Is that okay with you?
Yes.
Do you face and confront?
Yeah.
Is that okay with you?
Yes.
Do you avoid?
Yeah.
Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
Did you just get off the...
Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you.
Yeah, good. So what's your experience now?
Off. Totally under.
And
There's
Yeah.
no extremes, no direction.
so what do you experience?
Love.
Every one of you, take this and do this. Thank you.
Thank you.